23rd of February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Okay, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Here we should learn on Zoom. We're learning Hilchos Megillah, Purim now, Mishna Berura, our second share in the morning. We are in Tov Reish Tzadi, and we are now, I think we did base in the Mechaber. Yeah, we just read Yud base in the Mechaber. We didn't do the Mishpah. Let's review Yud base. Tov Reish Tzadi Sif Yud base. Yeah. Eliezer Tzvi, would like to read? Let's see.
Eliezer, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
There.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Sif Yud base. Go ahead, Eliezer Tzvi.
Kruv in the Mishnah's name, if the reader dozes off,
Yes.
below near Dam Bishana, he's not completely asleep. Yotza, then people are Yotza. Aval im Shemea Mishnah's name lo Yotza. But somebody who's listening dozes off, he is not Yotze.
Right, so we have to understand what the difference is: reading and dozing, and listening and dozing. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura Sifkat in
Korah Mishnam name, the reader dozes off. Mishnam name, Nikra Kagon, the Korola, the Va'ani, V'lo Yada Lach Dure Svara. Because he's called Mishnam name, because if you call him, he'll respond, but doesn't necessarily know what you're talking about. Midabru lo medaber. If you talk to him, he will speak, or he doesn't understand what you're talking about. The Tzorich Lomer, you call Makom Yachol the Kavan Lotses, and you have to say that he has intention to fulfill the obligations. The mitzvahs strikas kavan, because mitzvahs require the intention to perform them. Yatzei fulfilled the obligation. V'uadin hashemei mimenu, and it's certain. This is also the din of the person who hears from him. Gamkein Yotze, he's also fulfilled his obligation. Rak nishma'im hadavarim hete. If he hears, the reader resumes quickly. Kain Kazav Miri, and the Miri also writes, Af agav, the tzarech lakaven lahotzi, he has to have intention to fulfill obligations. Efshad the Bisnam name Gamkein Yochel lakaven. It's possible that the one who's dozing also has this intention. Yotinira Lomer de Mairi Shachashav Tequila Hakrian Kodem Shisnam name Lahosi Hashomin. And the person should have in his mind, or should say, that he should, before he starts his reading, he should have the intention to fulfill everybody's obligation.
right. So that's important. If you're going to be reading the Megillah, right, so you should have in mind to fulfill everybody's obligation for them. And likewise, if you're listening, you should, and someone else is reading for you, you should make it clear that you're listening in order to fulfill your obligation. Right. Okay.
Well, Aval im Shema, the listener dozes off, the big decree in the middle of the reading. Kiv Jakare Karoi, since the person is reading normally, Hare Muchach Rami Anafshe Lomer Shapir.
Okay, but the correct Karoi, since it was being read properly, Shirami Anav Lomer Shapir, because if he's reading, he must be paying attention to himself enough that he's going to be saying it properly, right? Since he's reading, he's doing something actively, right? The person's reading, so he's actively reading. So you have to say, since he's actively reading, you have to say that he's obviously doing it in a proper way. So therefore, the person who's reading is okay. But what about if this person simply listening, is being passive?
Mashain came b'shmiya, which is not the case of somebody who's listening. B'vadai chaser lo kama tevos. He's certainly going to miss many words.
Right. I mean, the person who's passively listening, so he's not doing anything active. So therefore, it's very likely that when he dozes off, he's going to be missing a few words in here and there.
Okay. Yugimel haya kosfa shakore pasuk Megillah shehu ma'atik mimenu the kosfa. I guess he's writing while he's reading. He's making while he's reading.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, 1 second. I could maybe maybe we're talking about that he's writing a Megillah. Kaya Koisva, he writes the Korah Pasuk the Megillah. Not the middle Kosva. That meaning what does it mean? He's writing and he reads it in the Megillah. Meaning he's copying from a Megillah and he's writing it. I guess. Yeah, he's in the middle of writing a Megillah. Yeah, got a sofer. He's in the middle of writing a Megillah.
Okay. So he's writing in the middle of that. You know, im kiven libo lotse sidei chavaso yotze. If he has intention while he's writing to fulfill the obligation, he does fulfill it. Behu shetehei ksuva kula lefano b'megillah shehu matik mimenu, and that is when he has a complete Megillah, or he's writing the whole Megillah in front of him. What's he say?
That he's explaining that in which case he's going to be Yotzi. What does it mean he's to be Yotzi as he's writing and he's reading? Who Shetehei Kasuva Kula Lefana? It's all written out in front of him. The Megillah Shu'atik Manim. It's meaning he has a complete full Megillah which he's reading from, which is the one he's copying over from, right? Okay. So in that case it would be Yotzi.
Okay. The king haya maniach.
He's like check. Magi is to chase. Magi is checking, right?
And also if he's dark, he's explaining it.
I guess. Yeah, I guess he's saying a drasha.
Okay, Shekore pasuk b'gil shlema v'darshu. He reads a pasuk and then explains it. Kivin libo latse shado chavaso yotzi. If he has an intention to fulfill his obligations, he fulfills it. Lo yasik ba b'nyanehim acherim kishadarshim. And as long as he doesn't go into side topics when he's explaining it. Shalasa hasik ba b'nyaneh acherim, because it's usher to interrupt it with other topics. So instead of just reading the Megillah, he's reading and explaining it as he goes along. As long as he only explains the Megillah, he doesn't cause a problem with it.
And I'll be Yotzi with that. Okay, very good. Finish.
Pasuk in the Megillah, he's reading a pasuk in the Megillah. Hainu afilu im ba'ofen zeh haisha kriyas kol Megillah kashera. He read a whole kosher Megillah. Hayel shekiven lates bezeh yidei chavasa, since he has intention to fulfill his obligation. In lo kiven lates afilu rak pasuk rishon. And if he doesn't have the intention to fulfill it, even with just the first pasuk, he's kaven lotzeis, and even from that point on, he has intention to fulfill it. Lo yatze, he does not fulfill his obligation. V'im kiven libo lotzeis yidei chavasu, he has intention in his heart to fulfill the obligation. Stam bezeh haposkim the sfira lahu mitzvah strikas kavana, and that the plain case here is that the poskim all hold that mitzvah strikas kavana. Let's say shidei hamitzvah in order to do the mitzvah. Vayin lael b'simin samach siftalit. Shetehei kasuva kula, the complete writing. Ayin lael b'sif gimel. Okay, the Cain Imhaya Magia, if he's correcting it, Rotzon wants to say, Be'ez Hazeh Korsa Kora Umechavin Lotzei Sidechavos. He's reading as intended to fulfill his obligation. The Dafka Im Kora Benikud Karoi. He reads each word properly. Alvim Kora Lagiach Alpi Hamasora. If he's correcting it based on the tradition, Nikud Karoi is not writing it correctly. I guess he's doing it about peh. And Yossi Dechavaso. He is not fulfill his obligation. So also, it's usher to interrupt the reading. Ein la'el b'sif hey hagah. Binyan mecher and other topics. Hainu shalo me'inyan shalom. That is things that do not have to do with Purim. As long as you're talking about Purim, you're okay with the reading.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Somebody else want to read for a while?
Yeah, Lou, you like to take over a bit?
Okay, where are we?
Okay, we'll be starting Yud Daled in the Mechaber up in the Shulchan Aruch. Yud Daled Korah Es Megillah Tzorech Lechavim. Here we are.
Korah Es HaMegillah. He reads the Megillah. Tarich Sheye Kevan Lahotzi HaShomea. It's necessary that he intends to exempt the listeners.
Right. Through his reading, he's going to exempt the listeners in their obligation to read. He has to have that intention.
Tzarich ha-shomea latzeis. And it's required that the listener fulfills.
No, the one who's listening has to have a intention to fulfill also. I mean, the one who's reading has to intend to exempt the others, and the ones who are listening have to have intention that they want to be exempted with the reading of the other person, of the Shtei.
Right. The im hakore. What is this abbreviation?
Im hakore hashliik tzibor.
So if the reader reads mistama dato al kol hashomim. If the reader reads plainly as known by the listeners.
Well, now he im hakora shliach tzibur, meaning if a shliach tzibur, meaning someone who's appointed as a leader of the congregation, if he's going to be reading mistama daitu al kol hashem, his assumed intention is that he's intending that everyone should be listening and fulfill their obligation. Meaning anyone, we assume if he's a shliach tzibur, he has an official position as the congregational leader. So we assume his intention is that anyone who's listening to what he's reading will be exempt with his reading.
Afilu heim achorei beis hakneset. Even those who are outside the shul. Ein midak dekin bitauyo seha. We're not particular about errors.
Okay, we have to understand what that means. What do you mean? We're not particular about errors. We'll see what that means. Go ahead.
V'yesh omrim de davka b'ta'us she'halashon v'ha'inyan echad. And there are those who say that specifically with ta'us's words,
Those is mistakes.
with mistakes, with mistakes, that the language and the subject are one.
Right. So we'll have to understand what that means. Is that dafke betuus shaloshin ve'inyan echad, meaning dafke, like it's a mistake in, I would say that in pronunciation and in with one meaning, a mispronunciation with one meaning. We'll see what that means.
Oh, you mean like he doesn't pronounce it correctly, but everybody knows what it means?
I'm not telling you. I'm not sure. We'll have to try and get a clarification in the Mishna Berura. He's gonna explain kahu uvda. That's the Mishna Mechaber is gonna bring down the Gemara what we're illustrating, what we're talking about.
Okay. Kehahu uvda disrei tal midei dahavu yasvei kamei derav. Okay, like the one, I don't know what uvda.
Ha'u uvdu is an expression, means that particular case, that Ma'aser Shehoya, that particular case.
Okay, that there are two teachings.
So two Talmidei, there were two students, two disciples. That there were two disciples that were sitting in front of their Rebbe.
Chad kare Yehudim, v'chad kare Yehudiim. One of them says or reads Yehudim, and the other one reads Yehudiim. Velo ahadar chad mi naihu.
And
You can't tell one from the other?
well, Loha, it literally didn't have one go back, but he didn't correct either one of them. And he didn't correct either one.
He didn't correct either one. So they're both reading at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And they pronounce the word differently.
Right.
And the teacher doesn't correct them.
Right.
Aval ta'us acher lo. But other errors, no.
The other errors would not be acceptable. Other errors we'd have to correct.
We'd have to correct. So then this is an example of a different pronunciation that doesn't change the meaning?
Apparently.
So I'm sorry, how's that say?
I'm on my way.
Okay, have a good day.
Delivering the food.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to the service. I'll be back for lunch, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Sorry about that. So in other words, Yehudim and Yehudiim both mean Jews.
Right.
There's no mistaking the meaning of either one of them. They both mean the same thing.
Right. It was just mispronounced, right?
Right.
So that's an acceptable mistake. That doesn't have to be correct. That doesn't have to be corrected.
Now I learned this rule in regard to the correcting the Balkore, the Torah reader,
Right.
that you don't correct him. If he makes a mistake, but it doesn't change the meaning, then you don't correct him.
Right.
So this
Yeah.
is the same thing for the Megillah?
Basically, it seems to be that way. It seems to be about the same halacha, right?
Okay. Okay, Mishnah Berura, or continue here?
Yeah, let's see the Mishnah Brewer. That would bring us to Mishnah Brewer in Sivkat Memchet.
Memchet. Tzarich sheyechavein kule. It's necessary that he intends, etc. But tzarich kule. And it's necessary, etc. Ule ikuva hu afilu b'diavad v'zeh hakivein hu kodem shemaschil likro yikavein al kol hakiri'ah. So, what is this word, likuva?
It's going to cause the mitzvah to, you won't be able to fulfill the mitzvah under these circumstances. It's crucial.
Crucial. Even b'di'evet. This error he made is crucial even b'di'evet.
Right.
V'zeh hakivein, and this intention precedes the initial reading.
Right. This kavanah should be before you begin the reading.
I see. This kavanah, what kavanah are we talking about? The kavanah that you want to yotze everybody?
Right. This is something which should be there before the actual reading begins.
Since al kol hakri'a, all concerning all readings, this exempts, and this fulfills.
And in the whole, because of the whole kriya, right? The intention is at the beginning, and once you have this intention at the beginning, that continues throughout the whole, right, of the reading. That this is he's going to be exempting other people, and he is going to be exempt. You don't have to think about it each and every moment that you're reading. It's enough that you have the initial kavanah at the beginning, and then that's enough. You don't have to continue thinking about that you're doing it for the sake of more exempting other people, and other people have to remember that they're listening in order to be exempting themselves. Once you have the kavanah at the beginning, that's sufficient, and it counts for the whole entire of the reading of the Megillah.
V'su ein tzarich lekavein b'chol hakri'ah.
And
so
furthermore, you don't have to have any more kavanah for the rest of the reading.
Right. V'tzarich hashomea leha'azin azno v'lishmoa kol hey v'seva mipi hakore. And it's needed that the the listener
right?
That he reviews Hazin.
Hazin, that Lahazin Azno, that his ears should hear. It's required that the one who's listening, that his ears should hear. Lahazin Azno, that the listener's ears should hear. Ushameya, and hear. Kol teva v'teva, ne'akora, from each and every word from the mouth of the one who's reading.
His ears should hear. And he listens to each and every word from the mouth of the reader. Pe'im chiser hakore afilu teva achas v'chein im hashomea chiser teva achas lishmoa. Okay, and if chiser is to reduce,
He says to be lacking.
if there is lacking, the reading, even teva. What's teva?
Even one word. If they're lacking, having listened to even one word,
Even one word, and therefore, if the listener is lacking one word that he didn't hear, lo yatsu v'tzarich lechazor. He didn't fulfill, and he's required to go back.
right? If he misses one word, if the person is listening to the Megillah, and he misses one word, and he's got to go back and listen to it. And if he didn't, he's got to listen to the whole Megillah again.
The whole
That's what
Megillah, or from the point where he missed the word?
It depends. It depends how far. If he can repeat it right away, then it's good. If he misses out, so and he finished Megillah, you have to hear the whole Megillah again.
Wow. Okay. Weiter?
Let's see.
We're late.
I think we're coming back about to the end of our time. No, we're not going to be able to rush it. Okay, so make a point that we're in the middle of this. We're in the middle of Yud Dalet here.
Okay, we're at Cotton Mem Tet.
Right. Very important halakas about listening to the Megillah. All right.
Okay.
Everyone.
Very good. Okay, have a good day, Elazar Tzvi. Thank you.
Thank you,
Lou.
Rabbi. See you at 2:15 in mid-session.
Yeah, come into the Zoom thing and we can work on the Zoom.
Okay, great.
Great. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
All right.